afternoon. I'm with Lou, Extra Point of View. How we doing?
Good.
You ready to talk national championship?
If I have to be.
All right, well, let's take the two games, Alabama, Cincinnati, and Georgia, Michigan, to get to the national championship. Different games, both obviously really impressive wins by the SEC teams.
Mm-hmm.
First, Alabama over Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
Never really felt like a game,
Yeah,
did it?
we saw that coming.
Yeah, saw that coming. I think it'll be tough for one of those schools from a lower conference to get back in after that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that first drive
Yeah.
was just sort of,
Mm-hmm.
this is how it's going to be today.
Yeah, and I mean, their game plan for the SEC championship was completely different from what they did for the Cincinnati. It's just, like the first drive.
Yeah, and
they just ran the ball in the SEC championship. Bryce Young had 400 passing yards.
Yeah,
Just.
Yeah, and I think in that, that sort of, in my mind, I mean, that's how Cincinnati's defense was set up.
Right.
And that's what they gave them. And
Mm-hmm.
I think, to Alabama's credit, even though they've got arguably, well, not arguably, the best quarterback in the country,
Mm-hmm.
best arm, they ran the ball
Mm-hmm.
because that's what Cincinnati gave them.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're going to give you that option,
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was, again, to their credit, we're just going to run the ball all afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, maybe Cincinnati figured they ought to do that just to slow the game down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and on the Georgia-Michigan game, I mean, Georgia just looked great. They were aggressive,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right?
Had something to prove.
Had something to prove. And the fact that Kirby's not done yet, right?
No.
No Gatorade.
No Gatorade.
Boys, you better not pick up that Gatorade, right?
Yeah.
He was serious too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He's wasn't kidding around, right?
Unfinished business.
Unfinished business. And by the way, congratulations. I mean, that was, again, that's the chant, SEC, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it matters to have, the Big Ten come down,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, Georgia just took them to the woodshed.
Right.
Gave them nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But they played, and they could, but they played on offense and defense very aggressive.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, having all the right parts and making those pieces work together, and the whole season we've done that, and then just SEC championship game, it's like we forgot what we were there for. So something in that middle block, I guess.
Well, and I think, and you and I talked about a little bit, I mean, they had a huge passing game. Alabama had a huge game
Mm-hmm.
passing in the SEC championship.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we were sitting next to each other watching that game,
Mm-hmm.
and I kept saying blitz,
Yep.
blitz. Yep. It seems to me that Georgia's going to have to make Bryce Young feel uncomfortable,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
or he'll do the same thing, right?
Yeah. I mean, Michigan, we had 4 sacks.
Yes.
Like, come on. Why can't you do that to Bryce Young? I don't know.
And I, granted, the O-line at Bama's probably better than Michigan's, but Michigan still had some big boys, right? The replay on the SEC championship, then on the Alabama side, on defense, I mean, they shut down the run, or focused on that,
Mm-hmm.
which put the pressure on Stetson Bennett.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I guess he had a decent first half.
Yeah.
Not a great second half.
Yeah, that's the thing is every time we've played Alabama, most recently we've had a lead going into the first quarter. I mean, for the first half, going into halftime. So yeah, I mean he had a good game and just again.
And those adjustments are going to be huge. During the game.
I was reading something and it was like you just have to be ready to adjust because it's just whack-a-mole with Alabama. They can just bring it up here, there, they could just do whatever they want. They're good at every position. Have somebody sitting on the bench that's good at that position,
They're deep.
You just got to be ready to adjust for whatever they're going to throw at you. And I guess we've seen these past 2 games, they can run and they can throw. So what are you going to do?
Yeah, so let's take Alabama and Georgia in terms of players, right? To your point, I mean, Alabama's got players everywhere. They're 2 and 3 deep. 5 stars everywhere. Quarterback's a differentiator, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Bryce Young's he's special. And I sort of go back to that last game of the regular season where they're down 10 points with 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And the drive at the end of the game and overtime.
Oh yeah.
It's like somebody says, "Hey, we got to win this game. We got 5 minutes left," and Bryce is like, "Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's get it done." They've also got some leadership. Their linebacker. What's his name? Will Anderson.
Oh yeah.
I think I heard a story last couple of days that going in like 3 days before the Cincinnati game, they had a team meeting and he said, "COVID outbreak, everybody staying in the hotel."
Oh.
That's when my Alabama buddies all said, "Screw the 13 points. We're taking Bama." So there's leadership, right? He's a stud.
Yeah.
Great players. Georgia's got players though, offensive line, defensive line. We sort of set aside the quarterback for now, but running backs. You got a tight end. Is that guy a freshman?
Yeah, Brock, freshman, true freshman. Amazing.
So as we look at the championship game, in my mind, Georgia's got to be more aggressive. They got to mix it up. They're gonna have to get that ball to the tight end, right? In my mind, you're gonna have to. For Georgia, they're going to have to pass to set up the run, to be aggressive. Would you agree?
Yes. Yeah.
Now, obviously, they may have to adjust. Alabama's going to adjust throughout the game. And then, I think on defense, just bring it.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. They should. They know how. They've shown it before, but yeah.
And then in terms of... I guess the coaches.
Yeah.
Now, I like Kirby. We tried to hire him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's when you guys fired Rick.
In, right away.
Obviously, this game means everything to Kirby. Right?
Yeah.
He grew up in Georgia.
Right.
Played football at Georgia.
Yep.
Now he's a head coach at Georgia.
Yep.
He knows everything that's at stake. What's going through his brain right now? What more can he do to get that team ready and motivated?
Yeah, I think all those factors are there. I think it's just Saban is Saban. He's got a magic playbook somewhere. Like he can just, bring it out whenever. Who knows what his second string quarterback looks like if he's got another Jalen Hurts or two on the side. I think he is so good. How do you beat the best? You know, and obviously Kirby worked for him, and so he knows what Saban would do. But Saban taught him, so he knows probably Kirby's next move. I don't know. how is Kirby going to beat him? I don't know. It's kind of like, if you're ever going to get in a fight with your dad's always going to win.
He's got one more. He got one more trick that he hasn't showed you yet.
Yeah, exactly. Like what they used to say, like old man football, but like grown man football. That's Saban in my mind. So I don't know. We just got to have luck on our side if we're going to beat him.
So there's something we have not talked about this, but I remember, and you will probably remember this, but there was a stretch where Georgia was having a real hard time against Florida. Mm-hmm. And Mark Richt was the coach. Mm-hmm. I don't know how long ago this was, 10 years.
Yes.
But Georgia scored first, and they blitzed the end zone, right? There was like 50, flags thrown.
Yep. It's my freshman year.
You're okay. So
about 10 years ago.
About 10 years ago, and I believe you guys smoked them.
Yeah.
So there was an emotional edge that Mark Richt knew that he had to light, he had to spark, and I thought about that over the last couple of days. Is there something there that Kirby is thinking about or wants to do or could do to just say, we're going to have fun, we're going to go all out, we're going to leave everything on the field, and we're going to show you up front we're here to kick your tail.
Goosebumps.
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
It was. I just remember that play. Remember that game from, just the context of everything, and it's sort of in that same like series right now where Georgia has come really, really close, and it's those two teams right now.
Yeah. I mean, if it's not now, then when?
Yeah, for a lot of reasons. So is that? Do you see something? Is Kirby up to something like that? I mean, he's pretty fired up, right?
Yeah, but going back again to the last games, we've always been up. So like maybe we need to like let them get up ahead of us, and then we'll come back and like put the nail in the coffin. I don't know. There's got to be something.
And the flip side of that, and I think we talked about this a couple of sessions ago, is I remember again 10 years ago that Alabama was playing Notre Dame in the national championship.
Oh, yeah.
And Alabama walked onto the field.
Yeah.
And I was watching that with some buddies, and they're like, oh, damn.
Yeah.
I've never seen a team walk onto the field.
Yeah.
Just sort of, it just set the tone. I think that was 28-0 at half. Bama just rolled the entire game.
Yeah. That was
I wonder if there's something in Kirby's mind or in his playbook that he's going to throw down, and in terms of the emotion, because when you stack it up, both teams are loaded with players, right?
Right.
The closest there is to Saban is Kirby, and so is the X factor the emotion, and like to your point, you can get lost in the emotion, and forget that you're there to you can't get lost in the hype, right?
Right. Yeah. We'll see.
I can tell you're nervous.
Oh, yeah.
I can tell you're excited.
I know. It's
And Lindsay was on the news last night.
Yeah.
Going to Indianapolis.
Yep.
And
that's what we said, like if Georgia somehow pulls it out and we're not there, like we would never forgive ourselves. So here we go, going to Indianapolis. Hopefully not to watch how it normally ends against Alabama, but just maybe that's that one game.
Have you got your bottle of Camus, your good luck bottle of Camus?
I've got to find it. How can I carry that on? Put it in my checking bag.
Okay. We got a prediction. Are you gonna give us a winner and a score?
No. I mean, I'll give you the score with like it's been the past two games. It's 41-24, so that seems like a safe bet. But I won't say which one was.
So can Lou said it here first. Georgia's going to win by 17.
No, she is not. I can't say Alabama's going to win. Then I can't say Georgia's going to win because then I would jinx it.
You can't jinx it.
I'll just put out the score: 23-17.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
I think that it's going to be, and everybody is excited about this game. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
this is the game of the year,
Mm-hmm.
the rematch. I mean, some of you guys may remember the old, Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier. I mean, it was the 1, 2, and the 3. The Thrilla and Manila. I mean, and the big heavyweights coming, after each other, and that's in my mind what makes a team great is your rival, right?
Yeah.
And those games like this one,
Mm-hmm.
and I think. Georgia and Alabama have sort of separated themselves
Yeah.
from the rest of the SEC and the rest of the country, really.
Yeah.
I mean, you see what they did to the next best 2 teams.
Exactly.
They weren't even games.
Yeah. I mean, you can get mad about SEC national championship, but they played the other teams and they killed them. So what do you want?
You did that article I sent you about the argument against expanding the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's going to be the best 2 teams in the SEC anyway in the national championship. So just have the national championship the same game as the SEC championship, right?
Yeah.
I see a close game. I think Georgia's just got to be really aggressive, obviously with inside, certain parameters. I'm just going to say good luck.
Thank you. We need it.
Yeah. Have fun in Indy.
Will do.
And we'll talk next week.
All right.
All right. Thanks, guys. We'll talk soon.